Hello, I just had to re-record all this because my mic was muted. The last video I made last year was about a very funny, silly man named Hidden Xperia getting everything wrong about the Halo remake and basically criticizing it for things that didn't make sense. I made fun of him for it because, again, criticism is always welcome if it's valid, and most of his criticism was not valid. I did agree with him on some things, but overall, I think he was using his stuff very unfortunately. And as it's turned out, there's another kind of Halo controversy going on here that is also a big nothing burger. So there's this whole AI conversation. So let me read this tweet to you. A new report claims Halo Studios has generative AI woven into every aspect of its future game development, from core workflows to world building and enemy AI. And here's a community note on that tweet. The original report by Mr. Rebs is much closer to procedural generation, a concept used in gaming for decades, than the public perception of generative AI. Generative AI. Whatever. And even the guy who made the original report that has been blown out of proportion by these people, even he had something to say about it. Once again, I have to remind people to watch my reports instead of sharing clickbaity posts and articles. Yes, my report proves AI is used in development for Halo, including to create in-game content. I wanted to prove this since people doubted my previous report and said AI wasn't used to create any in-game content, but I never said Halo Studios is going all in on generative AI and using it for every single in-game experience. It's used to do and create certain things, not everything. Not all devs use AI either. Now, it's important to note that Mr. Rebs does have a very spotty track record, and the last time he claimed Halo was using AI, it was disproven almost immediately. And from what I've heard, and this is all hearsay, I haven't fact-checked any of this, so unlike these other two people, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I don't know if this is true. What happened is a employee at Halo Studios updated their LinkedIn to have something related to generative AI listed there. And from what I've heard, Microsoft is making all their employees use generative AI in their management and workflow and well, I said that because it's here, management and team coordination and all that, but it has nothing to do with the actual game. That's what I've heard. So from what I've heard, Mr. Rebs picked up on that, saw that LinkedIn change, and made a full report on it with very little information. Again, I am not sure if that is true. I would urge you to go do your own research, unlike these other two people. So Mr. Rebs does have a bit of a spotty record, but even he admitted that it was blown way out of proportion from his original claim. Now, this would really be a big nothing burger video if I just was like, hey, AI is not being used, there's no proof of that, bing, bada boom, we were done. However, unfortunately, a big creator latched onto this and made a whole video about this. And this person, you may be familiar, this person, MoistCritikal or Penguin Zero, he's a very big YouTuber. He makes videos about basically just anything that interests him, like that's newsworthy, kind of. And he also streams. That's kind of how he's made his money, right? He streams on Twitch, games, chatting, whatever. He makes silly fucking videos. I did watch this guy quite a bit. Now, unfortunately, he has made a video about this, and you would hope that he would do his due diligence and actually research this before blowing it out of proportion. But let's take a look at his video. This is an ad. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Let's take a look at his video and see if he is right. Hold on, I'm gonna have to move the microphone a little bit. So there, it's gonna sound a little bit like dog shit, but we can deal with that for sure. Let's see if MoistCritikal has anything to say that is that matters. If he has anything to say that is factual, or let's see how he handles this. All right. Here we go. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse.
In gaming, there is no community more accustomed to bad news than the Halo community. Halo and bad news goes together like french fries and ketchup. It's basically all you ever get from Halo is more...
He does kind of... The thing is, if you watch Critical, you know he does kind of... He jokes around a lot, so let's speed up the video a little bit.
Or doom and gloom that just puts a big frown on your face. And it is just so sad to see. And just when you think that it has hit rock bottom and can't get worse for the franchise, they always find new lows. Most recently with their potential big investment into Gen AI for the upcoming Halo titles, which we'll dive into in a moment. But for over a decade now, Halo has been in such a sorry state. For what was once a juggernaut in the gaming space, an absolute trailblazer, a powerful IP that the world knew and respected, Halo has been reduced to just kind of like a sad queef and like an afterthought in the modern day and age. The only
I do want to say, he does have a point. Halo definitely does not have the notoriety that it once did. However, I think nowadays it is very common for people to realize that the actual point of Halo being in a quote-unquote sorry state or not being in a good place is subjective. Some people do like the 3-for-3 game. Some people like Halo 5, and that's like their favorite game.
time you hear Halo brought up nowadays is when there's new information like this about Gen AI and how it's going to be crucial to...
Okay, so let's read this tweet. Halo Studios is reportedly going all in on Gen AI. Xbox Studios is hiring ML experts. I don't know what that means. Like I'm trying to think of my language model. I don't know, but it's some AI term for Gears and Forza as well, via Mr. Reps. Now, as the tweets I just read said, this is not entirely true. I did not read the full report. Maybe we'll do that at the end of this video. But reportedly going all in on Gen AI. That's not even what okay, Halo Studios is reportedly going all in on generative AI. The source that they are using here has said this is false and not what was claimed. So let's see if Critical Man here, big strong guy, let's see what this guy has to say.
Coming Halo titles and people shooting spitballs at it and making a mockery of the 343 Halo decade that we've been unfortunately subjected to. Even when they do have a win, like Halo Infinite's multiplayer on launch, a lot of people, myself included, really enjoyed the Infinite multiplayer. The problem was they released it in such a bare-bones state and didn't tend to it for about 2 years. So you could spend like 3 weeks grinding it and you basically finish everything.
Okay, so now he's just ranting about Halo multiplayer. I don't see that has to do with the thing on hand.
Halo Infinite's multiplayer had to offer.
He doesn't talk about Halo often, basically whenever he does a video about the news. So sure, he can get his thoughts
or
out here.
Updated for 2 years, and they couldn't deliver on any of their promises, like with Forge coming out in that time. It took them so long for Forge.
Okay, pause. This shit pisses me the fuck off. There was a lot of mishandling by the Halo Infinite devs for sure, and I feel like part of that's what they told us. Forge, I cannot believe is one of them, because if you guys have seen Halo Forge, that shit's like a whole fucking coding language. That shit is almost like a game engine in and of itself. It is the most complex and advanced Forge we've gotten in any Halo game. And if that's what it took, just a little bit longer for that to get out, then yeah, I mean, like, if you guys don't know, you should look into Forge, but I never really minded it, because it's just so completely, like, there's just so much more to it than other Forges of the past. And that does make it a bit difficult for, like, people like me to use it, because I just I like to make silly maps or whatever in Forge, but I feel like it was a worthy trade-off at that point. But again, we are straying from the topic of the video.
Features. They never even followed through on like split screen, for example, because it was too hard and confusing or whatever. It's such wasted
bullshit. Okay, they never even followed through on like split screen, for example. Now listen, I have not fact-checked if Halo Infinite has split screen, but I do recall going over to my friend's house and playing Halo Infinite split screen. So, unless my recollection of going over to my friend's house and playing Halo Infinite split-screen multiplayer on his Xbox Series X is false, then I think Critical just did one of those mistakes there, that because split screen is in Halo Infinite. I mean, I don't think it's on PC. It could be, but you can actually you can play split screen in Halo Infinite. And granted, it is very confusing and a pain in the ass to do. It took us a couple of minutes to set up. So it's not intuitive. I will give him that. The setting up split screen is not intuitive at all. And in the older games, it was like, bam, you're playing split screen. And yeah, so I understand why he might not even know that, because it's not, it's very hard to get to set up. So I understand why he doesn't know that. But again, when your video is being seen by millions of people, you should get your shit right, I think, personally.
Because it was too hard and confusing or whatever. It's such wasted potential, because they did have that good start. People were finally like kind of pumping their fist, oh, Halo might be back, this is really enjoyable, and they couldn't translate that into momentum, because I guess they just all of a sudden took like a 2-year...
So he's talking about Infinite, but again, the video is not about Infinite, so I guess he's just ranting his...
Break at the office, said, all right, I'm done.
He has a lot of he has a lot of stuff to get out of his system.
Time's up. Time to clock out and go home and do nothing for the next 2 years. And obviously people kind of got bored of it when there was still nothing being added to it. It was the same thing every time. So even though now, in its current state, it's much better, and from a competitive standpoint, it's amazing. Not to suck our own dicks again, but our esports team, Shopify Rebellion, we are literally...
Okay, here we go. So here comes, we got the self-promotion here. What does that have to do with the topic at hand? Get to the fucking point, man.
the Halo World Champions. We just won the World Championship, which is the final HCS World Championship, and it was incredibly hyped to watch.
Congratulations, but what the fuck does that have to do with this?
It took so long for Halo Infinite to get to this point that most casual players have already checked out and didn't ever come back to the game. Planet. They remade Halo CE a while ago, and now
Well, it's not out yet, but yes.
They're remaking that remake coming up in 2020.
Oh, no. Okay, so no. He's talking about the remaster. So, again, remasters, remakes, I know some people get confused on it. The last game, Halo CE Anniversary, was a remaster. It was very controversial, and I agree, it's definitely not what it should have been. This is a remake. The last one was a remaster.
6, but without multiplayer. So it's just...
Oh! Wait! More misinformation? Hold on, go back.
Coming up in 2026, but without multiplayer.
That's so strange. That is actually so bizarre. I'm gonna black out my screen so you fuckers can't see what I'm doing right now. Let me go to Campaign Evolved on Steam right now. Halo, there it is. See, I probably have to cut out the size. Let me see what's listed here. Play it your way, solo or up to 4-player online co-op. What? But MoistCritikal. He said it was without multiplayer. Someone's lying to me. I don't know who it is. Who's lying to me? I can't tell. Oh my god! But he said it was without multiplayer. But Steam says it has 4-player co-op in the campaign with full crossplay and cross progression support. Is someone lying to me? Is someone uninformed about the topic they are talking about? I have no idea.
So it's just a worse remake.
It's worse remake.
A new engine and everything, and it's a big overhaul and everything. But what the fuck is the point? You've already remade it once.
It's a remaster. I listen. Those eyes, they do look there's nothing behind them. It's a remaster. The last game was a remaster. It did have some behaviors change. I believe some Reach AI was used in there, so it wasn't a complete remaster. But remasters are allowed to touch things up, and that was a remaster. This is a remake. I don't understand the confusion.
Very sorry approach, and it's hard for me as a huge fan of Halo to get hyped. And make no mistake, I've been a gigantic fan of Halo my whole entire fucking life.
Okay, he's been a gigantic fan of Halo his whole life. I respect that. Halo is one of the greatest franchises of all times. I don't think that's ridiculous to say.
I got Xbox Live when I was 10 years old to play Halo 2 online.
So he really loves Halo. So, in a video to his millions of subscribers, I'm sure that since he has so much love for the franchise, he would make sure to fact check every individual claim here before making a 15-minute video on why Halo sucks.
The info there, but we do also have info on is apparently their big investment into using AI as a crucial
So he's not saying
component
he's not making an objective claim.
Developing their upcoming Halo games, which again is a huge fucking L.
I agree. If Halo Studios was caught using generative AI on one of the most famous and beloved franchises of all time, that would be a massive fucking L. I completely agree with him here.
Again, I fucking love Halo.
Again, it would seem that the biggest Halo fan ever, self-proclaimed, does not understand what a remaster is. Okay, so here we go. So now he's actually on Mr. Rebs Gaming, which is the guy who made this AI claim. So let's see. Let's see if he goes to the Mr. Rebs AI thing, or if he uses another source.
What happened? ML experts for years and forces.
Whoa. Hold on. Hey! Halo 2 is going... Okay, so this one said... The last one I read said reportedly going all in. But this one, it is worded very much the same. It makes it sound a bit more real. So this is really fascinating, actually. He used the Mr. Rebs things for the other Halo rumors. But this claim, which comes from Mr. Rebs, which has been blown out of proportion, he uses clawsomegamer.com. As you can see, MoistCritikal only uses the most well-established and trusted news sources to get his information. So Clawsome Gamer, let's look up Clawsome Gamer here. Clawsome Gamer. So let's see Clawsome Gamer. Wow, this is off to a good start. Okay, so this is the Clawsome Gamer website, and they're making posts talking about generative AI being used in Halo. The co-founder of this company has an AI PFP on his website. So clearly, when it comes to MoistCritikal, he will only use the most trusted sources of information, like Jake Bishop AI image. You know, I do love that. I love that MoistCritikal cares so much. He loves Halo so much he would never ever do anything to harm its reputation without like insane amounts of research. You know, he would never ever do something like that. Which is why he listens to Jake Bishop AI photo website. Breaking news. Let's see what other kinds of news are spreading. Marathon art director describes the This game is like dead in the water, so you know that's an interesting article. So their IO game tells Google to fix dollar store off-brand garbage Temu Walmart AI. Interesting how many things they have here. So you notice how these are all only by Taimoor or Jake Bishop, right? That's a bit interesting. So let's go back. Let's look at these two again. Taimoor isn't even listed on the Meet Our Team. So who the fuck is Taimoor? And then the only other guy listed is this AI guy, right? Who wrote it? By Taimoor, the mystery employee of this AI company that doesn't exist. So, you know, Critikal, he cares so much about Halo, which is why he uses, like, this is more trustworthy than there have been some, like, you know, if you ever see those news things on, like, the political compass, and they always show, like, the one in the middle, this is like that. This is the most trustworthy, classum gamer.
Halo Studios going all in on Gen AI. Xbox Studios hiring ML experts for Gears and Forza is spotted by Rebs Gaming.
Interesting. Okay, so he reads the source, but he doesn't check the source. So this is curious. Has MoistCritikal never had to do like a paper in high school? See, when I was younger, we always wanted to use Wikipedia. And I still think Wikipedia is a good source because it lists all of its sources. But our teacher always said, no, you have to use like direct sources or whatever. So he reads it, he sees Mr. Rebs Gaming, he's like, oh, okay, that's trustworthy. And he doesn't ever go back and actually check Mr. Rebs' report. Which, let me just read here again Mr. Rebs' own statement regarding this. Once again, I have to remind people to watch my reports instead of sharing clickbaity posts and articles. Yes, my report proves, and proves is a strong word, AI is used in development for Halo. Blah, 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 blah. I never said Halo Studios is going all in on generative AI. Okay. So...
Halo Title Studios has hired a new chief of staff, Angela Hesian, who previously worked as the global head of gaming safety and trust at Microsoft. However, she also started her own AI consulting company in 2024.
So this is what we were talking about. This is the LinkedIn thing, right?
I really don't. This feels like they are completely directionless and just stuck trying to recreate the magic of the past. And not even recreate it. They're not even really trying to do that. They're just trying to once again show you the magic of the past made by people that don't work at the current studio that's showing you it.
Wait, what? Wait, what is he claiming? They're not trying to show you the magic of the past. They're trying to once again show you the magic of the past made by people that don't work at the current studio that's showing you it. What does that mean? Can someone break this down to me? I don't... Wait, actually, what the fuck is he trying to say? I'm confused.
Recreate it. They're not even really trying to do that. They're just trying to once again show you the
magic of the past made by people that don't work at the current studio that's showing you it. So show us the magic of the past made by people who don't work at the current studio. So is he saying that the people that are showing us the magic of the past don't work at Halo Studios? Because he just doesn't work at the current studio that's showing you it. So it's made by people who don't work at Halo Studios. What is he trying to... Is he trying to say that they don't work at Bungie, which has fallen off like ever since Destiny 2 came out, at least? Okay. Before we begin my closing points here, I do want to point out I've edited through this video. I've noticed there's a lot of audio desync on when I'm recording through Critical's video. I apologize for that. Blame OBS, not me. Again, this is not a video I am really putting tons of passion and work into, so I'm not really going to put in the time to re-edit the audio just because I have better things to do, quite frankly. This is something I do for fun. And so I apologize for that. I don't know why OBS did that. It does do this sometimes, and I haven't been able to kind of fix it. So hopefully it doesn't happen in the future. But so let's talk about why this whole situation gets me so miffed, right? MoistCritikal is a content creator with millions and millions of subscribers. He is someone who, for the most part, is pretty on the dime, right? He gets his stuff right most of the time. And because of that, there's no reason to distrust him or to think about what he is saying as non-factual or anything like that, because most of the times he's on the dot. He's 100% right. We're not 100, but usually when he reports on something, it's truthful, right? So the thing is, Mr. Rebs has a very spotty record when it comes to a lot of these leaks. I do believe in his leaks regarding this Halo multiplayer and all this other stuff, like as far as like the Halo trilogy getting remade and this standalone Halo multiplayer game. I 100% believe in those claims, but when your best piece of proof is that a few employees, including a recently hired chief of staff, used AI in their past jobs or are using AI at their current jobs, you really have a big nothing burger, right? I mean, I don't know what a chief of staff has to do with developing a game. Presumably nothing, because that's not what a chief of staff does. They're not developers. And I guess my point is, Critikal speaks so highly of Halo. He acts like, he loves it so dearly. And to me, it's just, if he really cared as much about it as he says, he would actually take the time to find the original report by Mr. Rebs, watch through it, and come to his own conclusion, instead of using 2 tweets by Pirate Nation and using an article from ClawsomeGamer.com. Critikal isn't a journalist, okay? He is not someone who has to have like this really high track record. You know what I mean? That's not what he does. If you want to get your news, go get it from somewhere else. He just makes his silly videos, and I get that, and I respect that. But when you have millions of subscribers and you make a video saying Halo is using AI and that is bad, people are going to believe you, because Critikal is not a liar. He is not someone who is known for spreading misinformation, whether purposefully or doing so ignorantly, and he's just not that kind of person. I believe that this video wasn't done out of a place of hatred for the Halo franchise, but I do believe it is one made out of ignorance. When you don't like a developer already, you're more likely to believe things you hear about them that you yourself don't like. But by not looking into it, I mean, I'm not asking him to do hours and hours of research. I want him to go type in Mr. Rebs Gaming, go to that video and watch that video before making a 15-minute video about it. Now, he does use words like supposedly, allegedly, presumably, right? But that only gets you so far, because the thing is, he's not ending all of his videos or in this case, he's not ending this video so allegedly this is happening, and if that's true, that's pretty bad. He'll use words like that. He'll sprinkle throughout, but this is bad, this is why. But he's addressing it like it's a present thing that is going on. When the truth is, we don't know if Halo Studios is using AI or not. I personally don't think they would, because why would they risk that, right? They have a lot to live up to. I don't think they would do that right out the gates, but I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft forced them to. If it did happen, I would be disappointed, absolutely. But I would need more than LinkedIn profiles, tweets, and ClawsomeGamer.com to believe that claim. I guess I'm just disappointed in Critikal, because he is this massive guy, he is this massive dude, and when you know your video is going to be watched by a couple million people, right, this video will probably gain more views, you'd hope that Critikal would care enough to put in the work, right? You'd hope Critikal would care enough to, at the very least, watch an 8-minute video about where the source of the claim is coming from. And the thing is, where it says going all in on AI, the source they're using has denied that that is what he was originally reporting. So even if you believe Mr. Rebs' claim, then you still don't believe what all these other articles are shitting out, and that's what Critikal is using in his video. I guess that's it. I really don't have anything else to say. I'm not good at ending videos, but if Critikal decided to apologize for this and be like, hey, I should have actually looked into this, or made a video just saying he was wrong even, that would be okay with me. I do like Critikal as a creator. So thank you guys so much if you watch this video. And again, there's no malice here or anything. It's just, I'm just penned up with all the Halo misinformation, so I might be a little bit cuckoo with it as all. Thank you guys so much. Bye.